What's up, you guys? It's your boy Miguel here to give you your daily dose of radiation. In today's video, we are covering how physically demanding is the world of radiology. So to give you context, I'm a night shift Xray tech. Been doing it for over 4 years now. And I would say that the world of X-ray, especially if you work in the emergency room as I do, and even going through the floors of the hospitals, you have a good amount of physical work that has to be done. Because for the most part, we do chest x-rays all day, some walkie-talkies and stuff like that, and it's not that bad. So we, put the little board behind people and you can get it done and it won't be no problem. It's more of like the older people, or even people that are extremely overweight and, like, let's say they broke their hip, their femur, or whatever it is, and they can't move, then that's when it becomes slightly more challenging to do our profession, because you have to roll them, you have to slide the board under. And I know sometimes during the daytime, you have a bunch of X-ray techs that can help you, or maybe you have a bunch of crew. Sometimes during the nighttime, there's like less staff, or it depends if the nurses are willing to help you, because sometimes you'll go up there and be like, hey, we're gonna do so-and-so X-ray. Either no one's there, or they'll all disappear and they run away because they're scared of radiation, or they just don't help you because it's like, well, that's not my job type of situation, And that's where the beloved gyms, all the games, and all the weightlifting, and just trying to get your job done helps tremendously, I've seen. And I know you're like, Miguel, I can get help. I can do this. There's times where there'll be traumas and everyone else is doing a bunch of stuff and you're the only X-ray tech there who knows what has to get done. And sometimes I've witnessed, it's more when I was a student, now not that much, but there was like a doctor and I saw our team need help, and he just sat there with his hands in the back and just stared and watched our department struggle so bad to get the board. Didn't offer to help, didn't do nothing. And at that time I was like, well, we know where you stand, sir. Which I understand certain doctors, because technically they're just there to give the diagnosis and put on orders and stuff like that. And most of the doctors are older, so I understand they don't want to get hurt and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it is your job, and there's certain duties and certain stuff you have to do to get done. I mean, there's been times where I've had to work with other techs that were not that strong or lacked upper strength, and I was the one carrying all the weight. And you do feel it at the end of the shift when you've kind of had to carry more of the physical workload, and it is a little bit tolling. There's literally shifts where it's like me and the boys, all of us who are somewhat in shape and work out, and even if it's a heavy patient, even everything gets done, it doesn't feel that bad, and you leave work and it's not even as tiring. So I would hate to be in a position where I can't do my job because I can't place the board, or there's because of strength or because of my physical condition that prevents me from doing my work. Sometimes it puzzles me, because on the requirement it's 20 pounds. This is be capable of lifting 20 or 50 pounds, and I laugh because there's times where you have to x-ray people. I think the heaviest I've had to do, and it was a chest x-ray or maybe for an NG tube, was 600 pounds. And some of them were within the 30s, not that bad. They could help you, they'll lift up and they'll, try to do something. And other ones will literally just be there dead weight, nothing. And someone can weigh maybe 300 pounds, not too crazy, but as soon as they're dead weight and they can't do nothing, the level of like how heavy someone feels, you could throw in an extra 100 pounds. And then there's other patients, and I've seen it, and some of them, it's not their fault, it's whatever condition they have, where you just try to do a simple chest x-ray, but something about their body is like making them like jerk back or put pressure back. I'm not sure what condition that is, but there's been times where I've tried to lift people with another tech and the patient's just like their body, or they're just like physically fighting you to lean back. I don't know. And like the nurse tried to explain us, but we still didn't understand. I mean, we got it done, but it was a very physically demanding job. But then there's other times where you work in certain places where everyone's walkie-talkie and it's pretty easy, and it's more of a just verbally telling the patient what to do and then maybe slight adjustment, but it's nothing crazy. Other times, instead of you physically having to roll them, it's easier just to cross table. And especially if something's broken and it would be easier on the patient sometimes, you're just gonna take a daily dose and just to get your job done. I know in school they always teach you, hey, get the nurse, hey, get a family member and stuff like that, but sometimes none of those are available, or they're busy doing their own thing, and it's up to you to get stuff done. And even sometimes you will literally, I've had to do people where we started off on the x-ray table and ended up bringing in the portable to do cross tables because the patient was either too much pain, or they just couldn't maneuver because of their weight, and that it's just easier. So sometimes to make your job easier, use all your resources. Try to do things. I mean, I've seen myself use a box of gloves. I've used purple wipes. I've used everything in the room to angle the tube, lay the receptor on stuff, just to make it easier on me, because sometimes you'll be there with the button, with the portable, with the tube, holding the board, and it's just like a little back and forth, running back and forth, and it gets tiresome. So I would say it does, depending on where you work, it does come with some physical toll on your body. So I could see maybe like once you reach like the veteran older tech status who's been doing it for a really long time, you might wanna, find the different like locations to do your x-ray. Maybe less hours, maybe go to where like it's like an urgent care, or to different stuff. Or even, I mean, I can't even say CAT scans, even better, because technically all you're doing is kind of just rolling them and maneuvering them, because once they like lay in the table, you can technically adjust everything. It's just getting the patient on the table. I've seen more accidents in the CAT scan department than I've seen in our own department, as far as like falls, or even the patient falling on top of you. So I can't even say that CAT scan would be even better, because I've seen more of our techs get hurt over there than in my department. So, I mean, I guess there's other modalities that may be slightly less physically, but as a student, I went through all the rotations, and they all come with some good amount of physical movement and physical, like, obviously some are like more easier. I think the easiest one, nuke med. When I did my nuke med rotation, most patients were pretty walkie-talkie and pretty simple. They were just injecting stuff into them, the isotopes, and then I ain't seen nothing too crazy over there. But then again, I ain't never seen a stat nuke order, so I don't know. Just to say, it does come with its toll a little bit. I would highly recommend anyone joining our profession pump a little iron, be in decent shape a little bit. It does help tremendously. I've even me, if you like check out my channel, if you scroll back to the very beginning, I was a little chunky monkey, as my kids say. And now I've gotten into better shape, and it has helped tremendously, especially cardiovascular and even physical strength and stuff has made, even just doing the morning portables, running around the hospital, doing stuff like that, has made it very, very easier on me, I would say. Because like within like the first 3 months of starting work, I was like out of breath, struggling, and now cruising, life's good. So if you enjoyed today's video, hopefully you stick around and you join me in this beautiful world of radiology. See you on the next one.